How provocative can we get on this podcast?
Literally, this is so, okay, we can definitely get into this because I just went on my first like blind date, like official blind date, and it was...
I have a blind date story. You want to tell yours and I'll tell mine?
Wait, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Wait,
mine was like catastrophically bad.
It wasn't bad per se.
Yeah.
It wasn't great.
Yeah.
But essentially, so my friend, I had literally just gone out partying and I woke up at my friend's house and we were just talking about men and dating culture essentially, and just how like men nowadays, I feel like don't know how to date because they don't know how to like, I say woo, like they don't know how to court a girl, like they don't know how to ask her out, take her out on actual dates and like have conversations. Rather, I feel like people just want you to come over and watch a movie. And I'm like, that's fine, that's chill for maybe like the second or third time, but the first time, like, I especially don't want you in my personal space if I don't know you like that. Like, I'm someone who very much believes in energies, and so it's just like, I don't know you, and I also feel kind of a little pressured essentially in that type of environment.
Exactly.
And so as we're having like this hour-long conversation of just about the different guys that we want, my friend literally called me up, like another friend just randomly, and she's just like, hey, so I woke up today and I really want to set you up on a blind date.
Okay.
And I was just like, what is the universe right now? Like, what is my life? Like, I'm like, okay, I'm here for it. She was just like, I have this friend, he's really been working on himself, he's a great guy. I think you guys would like each other because of this, this, and this. Like, you have this in common and this. And I'm just like thinking, I'm like, okay, like, sounds good. First I'm like, why don't you want to date this guy? Like, if he sounds
like, why are you giving him to me?
Yes, and she was just like, well, we went kind of on a date, but it didn't really work out for us, but I think y'all would be good.
Okay.
And like, he's a really nice guy. And then essentially she was like, I already called him and told him everything about you and he wants to do it. And so if you're down, I'll make the reservations for you guys. Like,
she went above and beyond.
No, literally, like she called the restaurant, made the reservations for us, and she was like, literally, all you have to do is show up. So I'm like,
you can't say no at that point.
Right,
I'll just show up.
It's simple enough.
What's the worst that could happen?
So I show up and I go up to the hostess, and I'm just like, hey, I'm here for a reservation, because she told me, she even told the hostess that this was a blind date. This was like a whole affair. And so she's just like, oh, I just checked in your date, he's right over there. Oh, like, which one is he? Because I had no idea what this kid looked like, and she just kind of points, and I'm like, and I see this guy like leaning up against the wall, and I'm just kind of like...
He's leaning against the wall?
Yes, he's just like casually leaning the wall, and I like tap his shoulder, I'm just like, hey. And he's just like, hey Veronica, good to see you again. And I was like...
Again,
like we met before? And he was like, yeah, we met at so-and-so's birthday.
Oh.
And I was just kind of, honestly, I did not remember. And as he was telling me, it kind of clicked, but it obviously was not a very memorable conversation. It must have been like a brief something.
Yeah. But
he seemed nice, he seemed like cute, and so we go, and the dinner was phenomenal. Like, he pulled out the chair for me, and I was like, okay, points.
Yeah.
And as we're talking, we do have a lot in common, but it was just awkward in the sense where I definitely would hang out with this guy again, and I liked not everything he was saying, but I could tell he was a really nice person. And I was gonna ask you this actually, like, has there ever been instances or moments where it's like you go out with someone and you can tell they're a really nice person, really good character, like, but there's something missing? It's just like you don't have that initial chemistry spark that makes you kind of see them in that romantic light. And I think that's kind of what happened there.
Yeah, where you see it as like being more of like a friendship, or maybe more networking, or just like,
exactly.
I don't know.
It's just like, I think you're a cool person, I think you're really interesting, but I just don't see you in that way or that light.
I hate to use this word, but like the spark.
Yeah. And so it's like, it made me really kind of think and wonder, like, is that spark really necessary on the first date, or is it something that like maybe you can build up to?
Maybe you can.
What's your thought?
I mean, did you feel like when you saw him, were you like immediately attracted to him?
No.
So I don't know if you can develop a spark from that. I'm big on like, I don't think that physical connection or attraction is like the most important thing in a relationship, but I am definitely someone that always tells people it needs to be there. So I feel like that needs to be there for there to be like a spark.
I definitely agree. I do agree, because at some level, like, you do need to be physically attracted to the person. And it's just like, I know a lot of people will say like their personality is great, and so it's just like overall like that kind of boosts their like attraction, but I do think there needs to be something there.
Yeah, or if you thought he was cute but the conversation kind of like lagged at certain points, or you guys had that awkward, like when you have that spark with somebody where you guys are like laughing at the same things, noticing the same things, clicking, kind of filling in each other's sentences.
You know when you're vibing.
Yes. I know what you're talking about.
And that was just, it was more of like, I think me and this kid would have a really good friendship and a really solid foundation with that, but I don't think, it would be anything more.
That's what dates are for, you figure it out.
But also, I low-key think, and this was just I'm also one of her few black friends. And the guy, she's
black. She did one of those. Okay.
So I also wondered if those were the gears going on in her mind when she did that. But I know that she had great intentions.
Absolutely. It's like shit above and beyond.
Exactly. 1000%. So that's why I can't even Okay, so that was my blinding story. What was yours?
How provocative can we get on this podcast?
We can be provocative.
You can block anything out if I say anything that's like too crazy.
Yeah, I'll just do like a little like something. But honestly, I prefer you to be very transparent and free, because that makes it way more interesting.
Absolutely. Okay, so this was a few months ago after my breakup. I had a breakup this summer. My friend from California hit me up and she's like, hey, I have this guy that I went to college with, and he just moved to Austin. He's like a tech, like crypto kind of guy. He's out here for Apple or Tesla, you know, those guys. Tech guys. And she was like, I want you to meet him. He wants to do a lunch date with you somewhere nice. So she coordinated the whole thing, and we agreed to meet up for lunch at Perry's Steakhouse.
Ooh, okay. Like, that was a nice place. Yeah.
And it was a complete blind date. Like, I didn't know what he looked like, and I said to her, what does he look like, just so I know? And she told me what color shirt he was wearing, and she was like, he's tall and he's white. And I was like, okay, cool. Walk in, this man is hot. He looks like a younger, like Matthew McConaughey. Ooh. And I'm immediately like, wow, he's cute.
You're like, good job, friend.
Good job, friend. So we get to the table and we order appetizers, and I notice he's kind of already trying to like flex. So he's, pulling up his shirt and kind of showing off the watch. Mm-hmm. He's got his sports car keys on the table. He orders some appetizers to the table, and we're eating the appetizers, and I finish like my little plate, and he goes, good girl. When I finished eating, right? Weird.
Extremely weird. Not even...
And then he was like, oh, I noticed like when you walked in, you had like a really nice ass. And he was like, if you ever want, I could get the boobs to match. And I was like... And then the waiter comes up before I can even say anything. He's like, what do you guys want? He orders us expensive steaks, and he goes, rare. And I go, oh, for mine, I could do like a medium, maybe medium well, medium. And he goes, no, she'll do rare. And I was like, I didn't say anything, but it's one of those things where I was like, okay, ick. And then he was bragging about how he had been on a date with a Victoria's Secret model previously. And then he was like, have you ever been out with a white guy before? And I was like, no, I haven't. I didn't really think it's like that big of a deal.
Yeah.
And then he was like, oh, so like you're used to dating black guys. And I was like, I guess like I've primarily dated like black and like.
But why are you just assuming, sir?
Yeah. And then he made a comment about the size of black men downstairs. That's where he was going with that. And I was like just sitting at the table like, what? I was texting my friend at the table like, this is a joke. Like, are you joking? Here's the icing on the cake. He gets up, he goes to the bathroom after we're eating our like rare steaks. Terrible, by the way. Goes to the bathroom, comes back, and he's like this. He's like fidgeting, he's like jumping up and down. He's like, hey, like, how's it going? I'm like, are you okay? He's like, oh yeah, like, I just did a little like bump in the bathroom.
Man went skiing in the bathroom.
He did the snow in the bathroom. I literally went, what? And then he goes, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't offer you any. I said, no. I said, I don't do that. The reason why I'm saying what is because it's literally 1 p.m. on a Saturday and you're just like railing lines.
Wait, I forgot that y'all are at lunch. We're at lunch.
And then he made a comment about women. Like he Anytime I said anything like remotely intelligent about like news, politics, or anything that was kind of going on, he would seem kind of like surprised. And then he made a comment basically saying he thinks it's cute and it's good when girls know politics so that they can discuss things with their boyfriends and husbands, like at home. So
there's so many red flags within that story.
In this like 1 hour lunch date, and then so that was my only experience with like a blind date.
Did he get another date?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Wait, there's so much to unpack with that.
Yes.
Okay, so first of all, the fact that he was basically manscaping and like peacocking in the sense that he was just like, I know that this is gonna impress her.
Right.
And the fact that he very much was not expecting you to hold an intelligent conversation.
Correct.
I'm assuming just based off looks.
It's not fun to be in a conversation like that,
And so I really want to know, what do men think that's doing for them? Like, what do they really think they're getting out of that?
I have no idea. When I find out, I will let you know. Yeah, he definitely, he did not get a second date
No.
from that. I was like, I think he's misogynistic and he has a drug problem. That was my general.
I think that's very clear.
Yeah.
I would say that that's safe to say.